Welcome aboard. Today's Black Sea action takes us to the Northern Atlantic, where three British privateers have sighted a French convoy. We've played this introductory scenario twice to see which approach works best. My wife's playing the British, here in the lower left corner, the three brigs, while in this first passage of the scenario I was playing the French. The aim of the game is for the merchant to escape with at least two of its three treasure tokens, the battle area on the left, while the three privateers are trying to leave the area with at least two treasure tokens. Doesn't really matter on which ship. And so the French, they start with one large merchant we played here and one fifth rate frigate, while the Brits, they've got three brigs. So as you may be aware, in Black Seas, one of the most important aspects is the weather gauge. So that's basically where the wind is coming from, here from south to north, which means that the British brigs are closer to the weather gauge, they have it, and they go first. So my wife, she set full sails on her three ships and just started going towards the French. I moved slightly forward, as you can see, with the frigate moving in the direction of the British. Here I figured out, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit to show you that my strategy for the merchant, which is usually a much slower ship compared to the brigs and the frigate, was that you can actually do some sort of a zigzag. So if the wind hits you behind the middle of the ship, as you can see here by the arrow, but still ahead of your of this about 30 degrees angle in the back, you can actually set full sails. And if the ship slightly turns towards the, in this case, right, the brigs, then you would start getting the wind from the front, which means that you could only go with light sails, so much slower. And since the game only cares about in which position the ship is at its activation, you can always move 3 times at the full sails, but only turn the angle to the facing north, like here, at its last movement. So you can actually always go full sails. So that's what I was trying to do, right? My aim was to go full sails all the time with the merchant while using the frigate to distract the brigs. And you can see here she came full sails, started firing at the frigate and moving with the other brigs, trying to go around my frigate to try and catch the merchant. There was some fire exchange, not much happened. Perhaps interesting here is the one of the mistakes she did. I guess it's a bit of a beginner mistake, which was pretty much the opposite of what I was doing, is that she sailed full sails into the wind, so against the wind. So now her ship is at the start of the new activation forced to go with only light sails. But because she was sailing full sails, so it's forced to drop 2 levels of sail, then you may receive some damage, and she here got full sails damage, so like critical. So this ship was taken out of the action for 1 round. But her strategy was to circle my frigate and try and catch the merchant, which didn't work out this time. So, vive l'empereur, victoire! The French treasure got away and Napoleon got to fund his troops. So here you can see the setup again. So her ships in the top right corner, the French again, my brigs in the back, and in the lower corner the wind, same direction. I went full sails to north to try and intercept the French, while she moved forward trying to shield the merchant. I loaded grape shot on the 2 brigs that I intended to go and do boarding actions against the merchant, while the brig in the south that was engaging in gunfire with the merchant was just with normal cannonballs. The fire exchange here was actually quite brutal, with the frigate hammering this little brig together with the merchant, causing a gun deck hit on the right side, and I think this brig almost became useless. So I moved it forward, and it actually managed to entangle the frigate, while the other brig moved around to try and get to the merchant. And the same was intended for the third brig, but I was still at full sails and I had forgotten to go down a level, and the brig unfortunately sailed off the table, which meant it was gone for one round. So the lower brig managed to, as I said, entangle the frigate and keep it busy for a little bit. And you can see here the other brig also managed to get close to the merchant, but unfortunately I didn't get to get a grape shot off. And she moved, I think, close to it, and then they also became entangled. So boarding action ensued without any shots. But here the brigs have a big advantage. They're privateers, and they get a bonus when fighting, when boarding merchants. So it was actually quite all right. They exchanged some heavy fighting, reduced the the crew of the merchant quite a lot, but the frigate easily fought off the brig's crew, and the brig actually struck its colors. So the frigate became free again, and quite rough. So started shooting at the entangled vessels, hitting merchant and brig at the same time. And my brig had managed to load the three treasure tokens and was now trying to get away. So here you can see it, the brig slowly getting away, the merchant also striking its colors. And here you can see the third brig coming in from outside of the board, trying to shield the fleeing privateer friends with the treasure. But they came too late. The frigate was actually managed to get another hit on this brig, and I had to start testing for striking the colors. And look, I managed a 5. So I was quite happy. I thought I'd made it, but then when you activate the ship, you have to test again, right? And now I rolled a 1, and look, almost. So the French, I guess, sort of won again. I assume the frigate would have just sailed up to the brig and got its money back. So, all in all, I think the strategy here, the correct strategy is to aggressively and quickly close the distance. Try and keep the frigate busy, probably with 2 brigs rather than just 1. Because 1 brig should be enough, even if it gets a grape shot off even 1 time against the merchant. It should be quite easy actually to steal the treasures. So that's it. I hope this was an interesting watch, and see you for the next adventure.